Hey there, my name is Shane Craddock, and this is the Inner Edge podcast, where I share a different take on how to lead and live a sustainable, high performance life. Over the course of different episodes, I'm going to challenge the belief that tension, stress, and struggle are essential to success and creativity. My experience is that there's an easier way, there's a better way, and indeed there's an essential way that we need to explore for the times that we live in. So let's go ahead, let's jump in and explore. Hello and welcome to today's episode. This particular episode is going out originally on Monday, the 4th of September. So depending on when you're listening to it, it could be well after that moment. But that date, this upcoming day, today, this Monday, if you're listening to it live, is an important day for me because today is the day that my new book, The Inner CEO, goes on pre-order on Kindle. The official launch for the book is on the 20th of October, 2023. But pre-order on Kindle today. And if you do pre-order, because I'm looking for people's support, it does help with, I suppose, the Google or the Kindle Analytics and Amazon, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to give you early access to the first 4 chapters by PDF, which you can also read on Kindle. You're also going to get access to an exclusive 1-hour webinar just for people who buy the book on pre-order. And you're also going to be one of the first people to get early access to the resources area that is coming complimentary with the book, The Inner CEO. It's going to be quite a valuable resources area, so you'll be first to get that. So anyway, if you're on my mailing list, you'll see that coming out today, Monday. And I'm going to leave it in the show notes here, so there'll be a link and all that kind of stuff if you're interested to explain what's involved. Right, today's episode has been inspired by my car. About 10 days ago, some warning lights emerged on the dashboard of my car. And I suppose that tells me that it needs attention. So it's trying to tell me, Houston, we have a little problem. Now, I suppose the most common warning light, you could say maybe the early basic warning light in a car, whether it's petrol, diesel, hybrid, or electric, is that your charge will be low, or else the fuel tank is low, and you'll have a little warning light to say, hey, we're down close to the end. And it kind of usually gives you some time to recharge or get some fuel. Very valuable. Of course, if we ignore the warning lights and we tempt fate, we can get caught out. Maybe we run out of fuel or charge and we get stranded. Or maybe worse, like there's kind of higher level warning lights around the engine. I have a diesel, but one of the warning lights was around the AdBlue, which is to do with actually, I don't know what it's to do with. I won't even pretend. I know it's an environmental thing to do with the AdBlue for diesel. And then there was also an engine warning light, which was kind of a little bit more concerning. Anyway, what did I do? Okay, I get in touch with my mechanic and we sort it all out and it's good. And again, it just inspired, I guess, a thought here about knowing your own inner warning lights. It's critically important to get the best out of yourself. And very often we can ignore or maybe not even realize what's a warning light. Now, many people in my experience look after their car better than they look after themselves. I mean, some people really love their car. They might even literally wash it or clean it every day, yet they don't really keep themselves in the same nick, which I always find quite curious. And when you're thinking about yourself, like, what are the warning lights within? I mean, for me, they could be a range of different things. Here's a few, see that they strike a chord with you. Your mood, how reactive you are, how frustrated you might feel, level of tension or stress that you're feeling, the level of fatigue you might be under or feel, pressure, how emotional you're getting in certain situations. Most people are on the edge of burnout. And so sometimes I think that people have got used to being really tired, not realizing that the potential warning lights. And I see this all over the place in business. And I think if we avoid the warnings, like we have inbuilt warning signs inside us, but if we ignore them, like if we ignore them with a car or a vehicle, well, that's at our peril. We've taken a big risk. The same thing applies to us as humans, but I think we're more inclined to ignore them or push through or just say, look, I'll be fine. Or if you're an Irish person, you'll say, I'll be grand. And then the problems escalate. For me, certainly an early warning sign, an inner warning sign would be how much I'm in my head, how much I'm thinking, how much I'm analyzing or overanalyzing. That to me, I've learned is a dangerous point or mode to get stuck in. It's an early warning system for me. If I do that, I know I'm kind of going in the wrong direction. Another warning signal for me is if I'm finding myself reactive with people. I'm not as centered or calm or measured. If I'm reactive, that's telling me something about myself that probably I've dropped my state management, that maybe I'm tired, maybe there's something going on around me. It's certainly when things change around you in a work context or even in your personal life with relationships, without realizing it, we can get very tired and emotional. When you get tired and emotional, that's when you get reactive. And then that is a warning signal. Say, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. You need to change something. And it probably will come back to either looking after yourself better, resting, maybe letting something go, sometimes going to talk to somebody to decompress or diffuse something inside yourself, like going to talk to a therapist or a counselor or coach or mentor or getting perspective. Sometimes it's just getting a good night's sleep. When you're walking around, with, I suppose, like a zombie, you can be tired from kids, you can be tired from overwork, you can be tired from pressure, tired from the relentless demands of the digital age. We could just be walking around in a daze. And again, but we don't necessarily think about that as a warning signal. I remember saying to a client of mine, why are you so angry? And I'll never forget the look on their face. They were so shocked because they didn't think they were angry. They had just got used to being a certain way. Yet all of the staff around them, nobody would just challenge them on it. And they were shocked and said, well, no, I'm not angry. I said, no, you are angry. And the way you behave is as an angry person. That's why everybody's afraid. And as I said earlier, like a warning light for me definitely is how much I'm in my head. There's a certain feeling for me that goes with that. Now, most people don't even see that as a bad thing. I know I didn't for a long time. And when I'm talking to new clients, they don't initially until I explain what it impacts on, because it impacts on everything. If you've got a busy head, a busy mind, it impacts on your clarity, your confidence, your communication, your creativity, your ability just to be centered, ability to bring out the best in yourself. Most people just see it as a price to be paid for the modern world. And I would challenge that. That to me is not the case. It's also one of the reasons why I encourage my clients to do mental pit stops during the day so that you train your mind to calm and settle when you don't need to. During the day, you take a mental pit stop. A client of mine a few years ago was telling me a story. We were doing work together over about a year, and I had encouraged them to kind of take mental pit stops, and they used to laugh when I brought it up because I said, listen, I haven't got time to be doing that. And I said, well, you don't have time not to do it. But they just didn't really get it, and they didn't think there was any value in it. But then one day we were having a meeting, and they said, I need to tell you a story. A few days ago, I was driving my kids to school, and I was thinking about the day ahead, and I was definitely up in my head. It was busy mind. So busy that I missed the turn for the school. And the way the drive for them to school was that it's a one-way system. So because they missed the turn, they had to go back into a loop. And that loop took an extra 15 minutes. And they were laughing at this, laughing at themselves, and they were laughing at the thought of me saying, now there you go. So they were driving around this one-way system. And of course, they got lost in their thoughts again. And they missed the turn again. So they lost another 15 minutes. Now, there was no laughing now because now they were late for the kids to school. Now they were late for work, and they got stressed and annoyed. And as they said to me, they really saw the impact of that busy mind, which was to me, the inner warning, the warning signal within. And then they said to me, I just realized, like, how much am I missing in my business, or how much are we missing in our business because of busy minds? But most people, again, wouldn't necessarily see that as perhaps a warning indicator. I do. And maybe I'd encourage, obviously, you to consider it. But what are your inner indicators? Do you have any? What are they? I mean, there's multiple indicators that might work for you. Again, go back to some of the ones I've mentioned. How much in your head are you? Or how happy are you? Your happiness is an indicator. And if it's off, that could be a warning light. We're living in a world, unfortunately, where too many of us put on a face. We're encouraged to kind of show the world, put on a nice face, happy face, but inside, not so good. Sometimes there's emptiness, sometimes there's sadness, sometimes there's anger, sometimes there's just lack of fulfillment. But we put on this face. There's another one, actually, your level of fulfillment. That's the opposite of that, is an early warning light. And whatever you're coming up with, or whatever strikes a chord even from this particular conversation, what will you do about it? Like, what do you do about it? Your mind is busy. What's your way of calming your mind down? If you're tired, it's a really important, simple indicator. How do you rest? So this all started with my car. And hopefully it's made some sense. And I think what I'm trying to get across is that it's important for you to figure out, to identify what your personal inner warning lights are. Because just like a car, once you're clear on them, and once you watch them and act on them, it'll save you a lot of pain, a lot of time, and a lot of money. That's it for this week. Ciao for now.